Hello, friends. We're back again. It's Joel Pearl at Fightful.com, and I'm here with somebody whose face you certainly know, and he's still alive after tonight at GCW Worst Behavior in Toronto. It's the main event, man. It's Speedball Mike Bailey. How are you doing, Speedball?
Hi, Joe. I'm doing great. Unfortunately, I am still alive after tonight. Where are you from? Are you Canadian?
I am. I grew up in Ottawa, Canada.
Okay, I didn't know you were from Ottawa.
Oui, je parle un peu français aussi.
Un peu, oui.
Un peu. C'est ma deuxième langue, mais pas officiellement.
Est-ce qu'il y a une troisième langue?
Un peu d'hébreu.
Un peu d'hébreu?
Je suis juif.
Wow.
Now we're going to need some subs
Yeah, we
on
should
this.
probably, that's okay. Sorry, editor.
No.
Okay,
We're not
great.
even going to edit it out. Let's face it.
Wow.
Sean Ross Sapp will just have to do a bunch of little notes about what we're talking about.
So it's easy with most software now to just do automatic subtitles, right?
I don't
Relatively.
I don't really know about.
Oh, well, we're good. We're good. We'll be fine.
Exactly. So we were here for GCW tonight. You were in the main event with Masha Slamovich. Unfortunately, you came up short. Behind us is a ring that is absolutely torn up by your hands. Can you give me an idea of what exactly happened at the end of the night? Because maybe people didn't see. You had a little bit of trouble getting up and staying up. You landed a little awkwardly.
I did. I crotched myself on one of the... I crotched myself. Well, is that a wrestling term, crotching yourself?
I think it
like
is
if you,
now.
Someone who's never watched wrestling, if you ask them, like, you crotched yourself, what does that mean? Does it mean, right? Because we're familiar with, like, crotching. Well, I crotched myself on one of the beams. This ring is the ring that I trained in during, I want to say, almost the whole pandemic, or at least the part of the pandemic where we were, leaving the house and doing training and stuff. So I know this ring very well. So I felt very comfortable tearing it apart. And that's what I did tonight in my great plan to win the GCW championship that did not work out in the least.
At the same time, we'll give you a pass because it was an unexpected title match.
Yes.
Masha had only won the championship this past Friday night in New York City. So was it a shock to you to find out tonight here in Toronto that you would be going for the championship? Because the match was already planned, right?
No, it was not a shock.
Okay.
Because I learned early and often to never underestimate Masha Slamovich. So while it is like it's, champion's advantage, it's always a surprise when a new champion emerges, right? But not with Masha.
So speaking of championships and challengers, you were on one heck of a tear in Impact Wrestling as the X Division World Champion.
Yes.
There was a lot of talk on the commentary and on the broadcast about the amount of defenses you were taking at the time and that you were about to reach Christopher Daniels' record. And then it didn't happen.
No.
With that in mind, did you have any idea of wanting to challenge someone like a Christopher Daniels for the X Division Championship because of the amount of time commentary kept bringing that up? Because in wrestling, that's what happens, right?
Well, absolutely, and I think I was headed there. I was well on my way with Frankie Kazarian, right, who I lost the Impact Championship to, but he was an absolute X Division Championship legend, and just an X Division legend, and I was, if I could beat Frankie Kazarian, then it's like, who's next? And just working my way through those ranks was the ultimate goal, and then to challenge for the World Championship while being X Division champion, which is the answer to why I didn't go for option C, which is a question that is asked often, and the answer is I wanted both.
So at the same time now, you find yourself not only teaming, but now at Impact Sacrifice on Friday night, you will be facing Jonathan Gresham for the second time.
Yes.
Are you feeling a little bit more confident going into this match compared to the first time? Are you looking forward to it? He's a formidable opponent. What works for you and what doesn't work for you going into this match against Jonathan Gresham?
It's stressful. It's scary. I mean, the reason why I think he and I work so well as a team is because we are both the best in the world at, arguably like wrestling altogether, but certainly and objectively the best in the world at the kind of wrestling that we do, which is very specific, but very different. So that's a very, very complex puzzle to take on.
You found yourself unable to participate in wrestling outside of Canada for 5 years. You're back and you are...
Wait, no, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'll correct you. That's what everyone says, which is wrong. It's absolutely not. It's the opposite. It's wrestling in the United States, but wrestling everywhere outside of Canada.
Fair. You're right. So, with that in mind, you had some time to work in Canada and
Yes.
work with some of Canada's best wrestlers. I want you to maybe shout out a few that you've seen in your time lately that deserve maybe a little more shine and a little more shout out there.
So TDT are number one on the list always of the number one Canadian talent that would be right at home absolutely anywhere in the world. In Japan, they would kill it. Anywhere in the US, they would kill it. In GCW, they killed it twice in the recent past. Zach Patterson, who is fantastic and just starting out. Amazingly Sweet, who are some of the Speed Fam favorites. Frequent participants on Friday Night Speedball, but Alex Mays and Kristara doing absolutely fantastic things. Benjamin Tall is wonderful. Matt Falco, Kevin Blanchard. I mean, there's so many people that I could name. This is a hard question.
Of course.
And honestly, I don't like this question. I don't like these questions because there's a bunch of people that I'm going to think of in like 2 hours. I'm going to go, no, I should have said them.
And
I should have.
And that's fair. I think really what the point of the question is in this case is that a lot of people were recently introduced to a lot of Canadian talent through this GCW IWS series of shows.
Yes.
And most of the ones you named were on these shows
Yes.
and getting a lot more opportunity to shine on a global stage than they have before.
Yes.
And that's really where I'm going with the question.
Yes.
I don't, and it's not about who's better than whom. I think it's more that these are people that we've seen on a different stage, a larger stage that maybe deserve to be shined a little bit more than they have recently.
I have many missions in the world of professional wrestling, many long-term goals and things that I want to do. One thing that I really, really want to do, and it's something that I actively tried to do on my Twitch stream, which is to help level the playing field, right? Most of the major wrestling organizations are located in America, so there's a tremendous American advantage for professional wrestlers who want to make money and make a living, and it's a lot harder in every other part in the world. Canada's close. Canada's doing great. There are so many Canadian wrestlers that I'm sure whoever's watching doesn't know that would be right at home in, let's say, PWG or GCW or Impact or NXT or wherever you want. And also, like, all around the world. Eventually, I'm going to figure out a way to broadcast all the great wrestlers in, let's say, Singapore and France and Scandinavia, as well as Canada, because there's just so many great wrestlers out there that no one knows about.
So last couple of questions as we start to wind down. We were kind of talking before we started rolling about Veda, your number one, your
Yes.
person. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
On everything
Thanks
together.
so much.
And also, I was mentioning that I wanted to go back and rewatch your match from GCW tonight because having her on commentary for your matches is something special. Is it the same for you? And what does Veda bring to not only your matches, but maybe any program that she's a part of?
Veda cares so much. And as a femme-presenting person, they know the perspective of what it can be like to have commentary on your match. And you have a match that you love, and then you go back and watch it, and it's like, this is rough. Because it's easy to say the wrong things and like stray from the story, but Veda just cares so much, and there's so much technique and detail and attention behind their commentary. What I would like, you know how people used to, not anymore, but people used to go to baseball games and have the commentary, in their ears. And everyone's got wireless earbuds, right? So imagine there's the GCW app that broadcasts the commentary and audio, so you can be watching the show with Veda in your ear. But this might cancel that, but still, I know a lot of people that tell us I was at the show and I couldn't wait to get home so I could watch it with the commentary, which I think is absolutely fantastic and fully deserve it for Veda.
And by the way, because I apologize in advance if I did misgender or mislabel Veda, I may have slipped. I just want to apologize publicly for that.
Right.
And finally,
She'd appreciate that.
my question for you is the weirdest place you've ever wrestled a match.
So, I have done so much weird with DDT. A lot of people know me from Impact. They don't realize just how much weird stuff I did in DDT. And I think trying to think of the weirdest, definitely one of the weirdest matches I've ever done was wrestling just basically in the forest for about an hour and a half, which included a murder mystery. In a match that included a murder mystery, a car accident, fireworks. Some people lit themselves on fire. It was great. But yeah, in terms of place, though, I don't know. A cave is a very, very weird one.
Okay.
The show is called Star Cave. You can catch it on YouTube by a British promotion called Breed Wrestling that no longer exists.
Okay.
I'm sure you can guess why.
Did they go under the cave? Maybe?
They did go under. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, did
Oh
they?
dear. Wonderful. That's it. That the cave is that's the answer.
Again, it's hard to pick one, but I'll go with the cave.
Let's go with the cave.
Let's go with the cave.
The reason I ask is because Johnny Gargano once in an interview said the weirdest place he ever wrestled a match was in a prison yard.
Oh, that's neat.
I know. So I'm now on a tear. I'm asking every wrestler imaginable weirdest place they've ever wrestled a match. I gotta top that.
I'm in favor of weird wrestling, and I think now finally in 2023 in America we're getting over the hurdle of, oh no, you could never put a ring in here. You can't have a wrestling show, and now we just have shows without the ring, which work just as well a majority of the times.
Last but not least, the collective is coming up. You're going to be at Prestige Wrestling before then.
Yes.
Before that is Impact Sacrifice.
Yes.
You're a 100-match man in 3 weeks' time. What's the focus for you? Because you really do continue to work everywhere and anywhere that you can right now. How do you keep up?
So right now I've got 5 matches booked. Let me see if I can name them to you, if I can remember them. Ibushi at Bloodsport. I've got Shigehiro Irie at the WrestleCon Super Show. Will Ospreay at the New Japan Impact Show. Then the next day, it's the Moonlight Express reunion, me and Mao from DDT versus the East West Express. And then me and Vikingo at Joey Janela's Spring Break, which is 5 matches, which is short from the 9 that I had last year. But my focus right now, what I'm going to try my best to do is not pick up any more matches and keep it at 5. Just keep it to a solid minimum. I think those matches are all enough, more than a person should do already, and I will try to not get booked additionally. However, if you have a promotion and would like to book Speedball Mike Bailey, speedballmikebailey@gmail.com for bookings. Thank you.
And while you're plugging away, by all means, take us home.
I am at Speedball Bailey on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Twitch.tv/SpeedballBailey. Come hang out. But the main thing you can do if you want to support me or pro wrestling in general is just go on YouTube, put in Speedball Mike Bailey Impact or Speedball Mike Bailey GCW, watch some wrestling, and if you like it, like, comment, share it, just feed the algorithm with pro wrestling. And that's really the best thing you can do to help us.
Speedball Mike Bailey, thank you for your time. I'm at Joel Pearl, ladies and gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.
If you don't get nordvpn.com/Fightful, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find out about your big life events, and I'm going to break the news. I'm going to scoop you. But if you do get nordvpn.com/Fightful, you can change your virtual location with just one click. I won't be able to do that. I mean, honestly, I'm probably not going to anyway because I'm too busy watching all the great content that I have access to thanks to nordvpn.com/Fightful. But I might threaten it for the sake of this read. And you don't want that, do you? I don't want to spend my time doing that, but you're going to force me into it. 4 months free, 30-day money-back guarantee, block online trackers, block malware, block annoying pop-up ads on all your devices. They've got 3 great tiers: Pass, a locker, a VPN. You can watch all your favorite shows abroad, get pay-per-views at a much more affordable price with nordvpn.com/Fightful.